If Candy Crush and other free-to-play games feel like insidious mind control devices, it's only because they are. Anthony Carboni here for D-News, and Candy Crush is the current champ for most addictive game to the human population. It's got 93 million daily players and is installed on 500 million people's phones. You probably either play it and love it, or have played it, hated it, and still played it longer than you meant to. So what makes it so addictive? Let's talk about the Skinner box. The Skinner box is an experiment where some sort of animal in a small cage presses a lever and gets a treat, or an electric shock. Researchers can change how often a lever press results in a treat to do all kinds of things to the animal. So you can make it totally uninterested in the lever, or you could make it so the animal obsessively presses it all the time. And neither has to mean that the animal does not get shocked. You get where I'm going? Every time you win in a game, your brain gives you a little bit of dopamine, some good reward feelings. And by keeping you winning early on and then making it harder and harder, games trigger some very addictive tendencies. It also makes losing hurt. You want to go back to winning. Winning felt awesome. And free-to-play games like Candy Crush usually require some sort of currency, like lives or energy. You lose all your energy and whoops, you can't play the game at all for a few hours, unless you pay to do it. And this does two really nasty things to your win-seeking brain. If you don't pay for an extra turn, you are playing into something called Hedonic Adaptation. Psychology of Games wrote about an experiment, appropriately enough, involving candy. Subjects were given a piece of chocolate to eat. Then half the group was told not to eat any more chocolate for 2 weeks. The other half was given 2 pounds of chocolate and told, yo, enjoy this chocolate, all of this chocolate. And in 2 weeks, everyone was welcomed back and offered a piece of chocolate. The people who abstained from 2 weeks loved the chocolate. The people who were gorging for 2 weeks, unsurprisingly, were not that into it. By restricting your access to playing, Candy Crush makes you want to play it more. It keeps you from getting tired of it. But what if you're the sort of person who does gorge themselves and you pay? Well, you are probably experiencing gambler's fallacy. That's the idea that the more you try something, the more the odds are in your favor. That is mathematically untrue. If your odds of getting into a car accident are 1 in 10,000, it doesn't mean that after 50 car rides, your odds are 1 in 9,950. They reset every time, and that's pretty obvious. But our brain gets confused when it comes to games because we believe in our talent. Our brains go particularly crazy with activity for near misses. You got so close to winning last time. One more move and you would have had it. You are so in the zone that if you pay 99 cents to skip the waiting period right now, you will win. You know you will win. You will probably not win. Games use tricks like this to keep you in your little Skinner box, paying 99 cents at a time for a free game until you've spent way more than you would have spent to buy an expensive one that wasn't full of all this stuff. Poor dumb brains. You know, there are games that use your brain's weaknesses for good. Jane McGonigal, the author of Reality is Broken, created a site called SuperBetter that taps into these brain quirks and habit-forming tendencies to make a game that actually helps people make good habits and recover from injuries. Apps like HabitRPG turn to-do lists into role-playing games where you get experience and level up for doing things you have to do that day. That's good stuff. That's not Candy Crush stuff, which is bad stuff. You know, I tend to obsessively play manipulative games like Candy Crush for a day or two and then just get rid of them forever. Maybe I spend $1 or $2 or $5. What about you? Do you fall for this stuff? Let us know down below, and don't forget to check out my other show, Hard Science, if you dig builds and experiments. This week we are making $20 cardboard boats and seeing which ones will keep the most people afloat. It's at youtube.com/hardscienceshow.